Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, hello there. How are you all? I hope you all good. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. So, in this podcast, we are going to talk about a special topic, which the title is Gen Z versus Millennials. But before I start my podcast, there's already someone sitting in front of me who will be my partners in the podcast today. And sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. Thanks for giving me time to talk, and thanks for letting me introduce myself. But before that, I would like to say thanks to the viewer here who was watching or listening to this podcast. And then secondly, I would like to say thanks to you, to the interviewer, because you are inviting me to this podcast. And I would like to say thanks also to the people here who has helped us to make this podcast and give an opportunity to us to make this podcast.
Oh wow, that's a very nice introduction from Hawira.
So now I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Mahawira Muhammad Rafiq Triadi. I'm from IDN boarding school. I'm the student from IDN boarding school, and I'm 14 years old. And if you want to know my personal information, like I have two little brothers, and I am the oldest one. And yeah, like that. And how about you? Can you explain about your personal information?
Well, yeah, I can tell my personal information. Well, as the interviewer, I would like to introduce myself. Well, my name is Haris Manisha Sakosa, and my friend calls me Ijat. And I have one big brother and one sister, but I am the very youngest in my brother's family. Yeah, I was the youngest brother. And what is your hobby?
Oh, my hobby. Actually, I'm kind of confused about my hobby. From yesterday, from the time until now. But I think my hobby is reading books or maybe playing games like that. And actually, I think my hobby is always changing from when I in the elementary school, in the high school. My hobby always change. I'm still confused about that too.
Oh, and where are you from?
Oh, I live in Depok, in the West Java, and I live in around Argo City. Yes, in around there, and so I live in Depok, in Sawangan, in Indrahan. It's around Margo City, I guess. But actually, before I live in Depok, I was live in my grandparents' house. It was in I think in Bekasi. And before I live in my grandparents' house. Grandparents' house. I was live in I guess in my grandparents of my mom's. So it was located in Surabaya. So I was like changing my home, yes, like three times. First in Surabaya, and then second in Bekasi, and then the last in Depok.
And what do you do after school? Like at your free time, like after school? What do you do?
Oh, I have different things. I mean, like when in the boarding school, I mostly use my free time to read a book, or maybe sometimes like just write a note or make a list, or it's related to reading and writing, or sometimes times in here, I usually reading Al-Quran. I do hatam the Al-Quran. And in the home, I usually play with my friends, playing games, or I think playing with my younger brother, little brother, I mean, and yeah, just talking to my parents too.
Okay, let's go back to the podcast. So actually, what is Gen Z and millennials?
What I know about Gen Z and millennials is Gen Z was the successor of the millennial generation, and the millennial generation was the successor of Gen X. But most of them are descendants from baby boomers.
Oh, so what generation are you?
Actually, it depends. It was according to when you were born and also according to your age. But if you are 14 or 13, then you are Gen Z.
Oh, I see. Can you tell more? Especially how to tell the difference between Generation Z and millennials.
Okay, I will explain about many of the generation that I know. So actually, there are generations before Gen Z, the youngest generation, namely post Gen Z, or we usually call it Alpha generation. They were they were born more than 2013, and they are now should be up to 9 years old. And then after Alpha generation, there are also Gen Z. We are Gen Z. Gen Z generation Z themselves were born around 1997 until 2012, and they now should be they now should be 10 until 25 years old. Then there is a generation Y, or we usually call it as millennials. They were born around 1981 until 1996, and they are all. They was around 26 years until 41 years. And there is also a generation before generation Y or millennials, that was generation X. They were born in 1975 until 1965. And there is also generation before generation Y or millennials, that is generation X. They were born in 1965 until 1990, and their age is estimated to be around I guess 42 years old until 55 years old. And there is baby boomers, one of the oldest generations. They were born in 1946 until 1964, and their current age is be around 56 until 74 years old. And the last generation, the oldest generation in the world, namely free boomer. Free boomer. They were born before 1945 and estimated to be estimated to be over than 75 years old.
Oh, I see. So my grandfather is the oldest generation. That's interesting. Anyways, why is it called Gen Z and millennials?
So actually, is Gen Z can be called by the name of boomer, and millennials also can be called as Gen Y, or by different name.
Oh, that's right. Then I'm kind of curious about the population of Gen Z. Do you think Gen Z is more population than millennials?
What do you think of it?
I think millennials are more.
No, Gen Z are more. Why? Because all I know, in Indonesia in 2020, Gen Z has the most largest generation. Gen Z has almost 75 million people in Indonesia, while millennial is only around 96 millions people in 2020. So yeah, Gen Z was the most largest population in Indonesia.
Oh, that's I just know that. Not a common mistake.
No problem with that, but remember, that are just a population in 2020. I don't really know how much now.
And do you know what are the advantage and the disadvantage of it?
Well, it's pretty simple. Gen Z was the fastest generation that used internet because the internet has become something very important when we are born. Also, Gen Z has good education and good behavior.
And well, what do you think about the disadvantage of Generation Z?
I think they are depressed and stressed too much because they are always using their phones and their gadgets non-stop 24 hours. And yeah, because of that they are don't see their time.
Oh, our generation uses gadgets too much. They are just going to be painful if they use their gadgets 24 hours non-stop.
Yeah, because Gen Z is the digital natives. They are using their phones, gadgets, and laptop when they are young. They should change themselves to be more better.
Yeah, I agree with you. They should be aware of time. And and then what do you think about the advantage and the disadvantage of millennials?
Millennials has been described as the first global generation, and as the first generation that grew up together with the internet. And much of them also creative. They have many ideas, and also they have more experience.
Oh, that's interesting. How about the disadvantage?
The disadvantage about millennials is they get unemployed and non-productive in this pandemic, and they get low-paying jobs and repetitive stuff.
Yeah, I know. Now we have something of a unique problem that is called COVID-19. And then we must pray and believe that this pandemic will go through.
3.
Yeah, true. We should keep praying. Anyways, talking about something unique, I can tell you some of the fun facts about Generation Z and millennials. First, for Generation Z is that almost 60% of Generation Z were spending their money on online shopping. And for millennials, around 33% of millennials that age 18 to 34 are still staying at their parents' home.
Oh, that was very good. But that's kind of related to the advantage of Gen Z and millennials.
Oh yes, maybe you have a point too.
And can you give your advice to us, to the younger generation?
Very sure. The point is optimistic and keep trying. Do not despair in failure because failure is the form of success, and failure is the key to the success. No one lives immediately that instantly success. You should do it. I mean, all it starts to be. It all starts with hard work, sacrifice, and leadership spirit.
Oh, wow, that's a great piece of advice from Mario. And you guys will listen to this, should apply to it to yourself. And yeah, I think only that for our podcast here about Gen Z and versus millennials. Thank you for watching. Sorry if there are any mistake that we do in this podcast. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.